Okay. Let's do this. It's my light, my eye cancer light. Okay, so let's do this because I still have time. I can stop playing Dota because when it's like near 11 p.m., I I would like think otherwise to starting a new game because it's like 1 hour. It just takes so long and hold on there. And yeah, it just takes so long, and by the time that I'm done, my eyes are already so tired, and I would be it would be hard to sleep. So yeah, an update. Oh shit, an update tomorrow. I get my Kindle, and yeah, let's try to. What am I afraid the most of it is because is that I'll be bored. I'll be bored by it like so fast. But yeah, it's like fuck it, I've been wanting it, I've been wanting to do something else. So why would I, it's just the scary part. It's like this is good. This is actually good because I'm trying to mentally prepare myself to the inevitable. And by inevitable, it means that it is ought to happen. And I guess I'll be forcing myself to read, which is good because pretty much my whole life I've been kind of forced to do stuff, not against my will, but it's just it's me who's forcing the myself. So enough for that introduction. Update. Nothing really. It's just me being silly, me yearning, me mourning, me. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy of how I look like right now. That's something, right? That is something because I look way more skinnier. My face looks way more skinnier, and yeah, I didn't get ulcer. Yeah, that's not good. So yeah, let's find a question and let's make it fast because I don't know. I don't know. The last okay. Uh, okay. Okay. I found something. It is number 51. How many of your decisions are driven by unconscious forces? Okay. Again, how many of your decisions are driven by unconscious forces? So, let's start with what is unconscious? What is these unconscious forces? So, innately, or pretty much when you are born, you are unconscious. So you would heard or thought of like gaining consciousness at the age of 4, and way before that you were nothing. You didn't pretty much remember anything. You were just there, so you were unconscious. And unconscious is very similar or pretty much uh, directly translate to the self. Okay, let's do it again. There's the self and there's the ego, and the self is it encompasses the unconscious, both the unconscious and the conscious, and the conscious is the ego. And they this pretty much is two of them, the self and the ego. Self is the unconscious, ego is the conscious. And when you are young, you pretty much don't have any ego, but it has not inflated on your own will. But there's this stuff, I've already told you this, but pretty much when there's a mother and a child relationship, the self is the mother, and the ego is a child because ego are, you know what, let's try to define. The self is unconscious, right? The self is the animal instinct, wholeness, and the most natural state that you ever be. And I'm not relating this to religion, since that would be stretching the just a few of the things I learned from the ego and archetype book, since it is also irrelevant. So that is the self, right? That is the totality and pretty much the pure version of your you, your your whole psyche. And the ego is how you identify as an individual. So it is your difference and how you identify as a unique person. So pretty much it's your personal desires, personal expression, personal pleasure, fun, and all that. So when we say uh, unconscious forces, that is the self, right? And how many of your decisions are driven by the self? Well, the self, without the self, the ego cannot uh, develop. So when you have, uh, let's say, you are an illegitimate child, or let's just say you didn't have a mother figure when you were growing up. Just like I said, the most crucial part of the development of a human being is having a mother and having a healthy, let's just say healthy, given that the mother child sorry, the mother child relationship is given that it's healthy. So just like I said, the mother is considered as a self because by instinct, maternal instinct, she would love the child unconditionally. And since there is a different connection, you would see this. I have seen this in like movies and stuff, and like when you know the woman was like, yeah, before I gave birth to my son, I pretty much had nothing. I was like unmotivated. I didn't see the light in life. But when I when my son was born, when I gave birth to my son, it's like, there was a different connection. There was, oh, no, I'm not clicking that. There's a different connection, and this connection is special. And that is the connection between the mother and child. And the ego is the child because the child is very mischievous. Even though they're not in this, they're still an infant. It's like when things don't go their way, or when things, you know, they would give signs if they're uncomfortable, they're sad, if they're hungry, if they just shit their pants, their diapers, sorry for the language, they would inflate their ego. They would, you know, make everybody know that they need to be put first because that's how babies are. A single baby, it can, I mean, a whole village is not even enough to raise one baby. You know what I mean? So that's it. So how does having no or minimal connection with the mother affect the decision as an adult? Let's just say that as an adult, you are not, your ego. Hold on. Yeah, as an adult, your ego is not much. Let's just say the relationship between yourself and ego is not established. It's not as developed. So what you would do in when you're encountering relationships and major decisions is that you would fumble them, you would flunk them, you would mess up on those decisions because that's your upbringing. And when you are rejected, by the reality, let's just say rejected pretty much by a special someone, by your boss, by the dream that you know it's your dream and you just got rejected, you would take that more personally because there's no one, or let's just say there's not a single person that has accepted you in your rejected state, since you didn't have a mother who told you that you were handsome or you were pretty all the time, when you would feel when you would feel ugly just because your classmates from high school maybe even if it's not direct, you would just feel ugly, but your parents, your mother especially, would say that you were not, you're otherwise. So that's the important thing. That's just a simple thing. But when you are an adult, there's like a lot of situations. My voice is croaking again. There's a lot of situations that require you to bounce back from the rejection, and all throughout your life you're gonna face a lot of rejection. But for this child who's deprived with a mother's love and guidance, it would be hard for him, or it would be hard for them to come up with a decision, or make the at least rational one, or the rational decision, you know because that's just how it is. It's unfair. It would be difficult for them. And trigger warning. How do you even say trigger warning? But uh, this is all based from the book that I've read. Is that when after the rejection, yeah, let's raise our leg because it gets serious. After the rejection, there would be a state of alienation, and the symptoms of acute alienation would be this depressive or melancholic state, that you know that the person would just feel like, what's the meaning of life? It's just meaningless. What is the fucking point of life? What is the fucking point that I should be doing this? Because there's none. I still get rejected. you know what I should do? I should just disappear, or I would channel this anger or this state of alienation, this darkness, this void, onto harming others, or make them disappear too, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna say those words. So yeah, it is either murder or harming oneself. That is the and from the book, it is either of the two, and they're pretty much equal, you know or they're pretty much simultaneous. And when a person fails to do one, or it depends on the situation, it also depends on their upbringing. If they are naturally uh, sadistic or violent, then they would murder someone because of alienation, because of rejection, because of simple lack of mother's guidance and love. And those decisions just ruin one's life. And it just sucks. It is something that is just so unfair, and I've seen it. I've seen it with these eyes, and I just understood why, or you know when people do things, when people do such things, when they disappear, when they make themselves disappear, or when they do something, when they kill someone and stuff like that, you would just ask why. And these are just one of the reasons. It's not just that one reason. Depression as a symptom is the totality, or the sum of all the the burden that the individual has faced in their entire life. Why is my eye a lazy eye? I'm looking at my eye and it's like going like this. Oh, I mean, my eye's always been like that, but so yeah, that's it. And let's read the question again. How many of your decisions are driven by the unconscious forces? And in the unconscious forces, uh, you know, since the self is the conscious, there are a lot of suppressed emotions, and let's just say suppressed, strong emotions in your uh, unconscious part of the psyche, and these unconscious emotions would manifest in the way you project. So let's just say, relating to the question, then in decision making. So when in your unconscious state that you are, I guess you have suppressed anger, you have suppressed, shame. In let's just say anger and shame, when you are faced in a decision where you have to choose to go out, choose to love who you love, you choose to cower, you choose to not do that because you're mad at yourself, you're ashamed of yourself, and you're disgusted by yourself. So you just, go away. It's much more comfortable being by yourself. The lights the lights are on, but no one's home. Said by Amy Winehouse. You know, and I guess it's much more comfortable like that, and it's really hard. I bet I've experienced it myself. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be easy easy making decisions, even the smallest decisions. When I say decisions, these are the situations where you just think that, I don't know, like, what how or yeah how should you react to this moment or this situations. How would you decide to do that, or how would you decide to react? That's pretty much it. But yeah, that also applies to major decisions such as future, career paths, and you know people, like, just like I said, illegitimate child, or deprived child, deprived of life child, children. They cannot distinguish the difference between practicality, uh, passion, and just mere, leisure. So let's say the career path is becoming an engineer. So you take an engineering course. Passion, there is, you like to play the guitar, so you would take on that route full time. And leisure, you just kind of just stay, like smoke, like go to places using your I don't know, your parents' money. It's like it's out of the question. You just pick of the three, and they cannot distinguish that because this they don't have enough guidance. That's how, you know in their conscious mind, there's not enough guidance in this and these stuff. They were not taught to to make decisions for themselves, to think rationally, and to think of the consequences that they're going to get if they make this decision. And and to their how their unconscious forces differ from a from a child, or for children who had a normal family, is that it's very unstable. You know, there are repressed or suppressed not just strong emotions but trauma, and these trauma would project with their decision. They would not know that they got really scared of a thunder when they were unconscious. But now that they're conscious, they don't know why they're afraid of really loud sounds. That's just as simple as it goes. But it, you know, as life uh, gets more complex, then it's not as simple as that anymore. So when you're dealing with when this person is dealing with relationships, they don't know, or they would just do, like, they would lack emotional intelligence, rational thinking, critical thinking, pattern recognition. They don't have any of that, or they just lack of it. So yeah, that's pretty much how, my decisions too. So I think this is much more of a personal question because it's like how many of your decisions are driven by unconscious forces? How many of my decisions are different? How many? So pretty much everything. So I just kind of, I'm kind of being objective right now, trying to, answer it with such clarity because I didn't tell how much or how many. Pretty much everything. So I cannot count. So it's indefinite. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My throat is itchy. Yeah, it's really itchy. My not my throat, but my neck right here. I kind of cleaned the ceiling. My ceiling is not that high. It's, I guess there's like a lot of birds building their nest above the ceiling, just above the ceiling. And I haven't, have I, that caught on video that they're just running around there. I'm pretty sure they're birds. So yeah. In conclusion, it starts as early as when an individual is born, not when they gain consciousness, because they're all part of the unconscious. So, conscious part is pretty much how the unconscious projects. So, yeah, everything is just as important. So, you just, you know, you don't give importance to your ego or to your just conscious stuff, conscious state, but you must give importance to both because they are, or because their relationship, the connection of the self and the ego, is significant. So that will be all for my TED Talk. Bye.